I hope that they do make it work, but just keep my name out your mouth.
I just don't get them, to be honest.
She said what she said.
Sorry, we've got teacups. Hi, I'm Erica.
And I'm Adrienne, and we're from Married at First Sight UK.
And we're here to spill the tea with Cosmopolitan.
And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I was actually approached. Were you?
I was approached for the show as well.
I just came out of a horrendous, like, the worst relationship you could ever imagine.
Me too. I feel like we have the same.
This is how we bonded over the trauma.
I think we was in both quite a low place, and it came at the perfect time for us.
What have you got to lose?
So I had a message on Instagram. Casting girl that I knew reached out to me and was like, Erica, please, can we get you on the next season of Married at First Sight? I was like, hell no, that's not happening. I am on a boy ban. I don't need this right now. And then I took a step back and I deeped the situation. I was like, you know what, maybe I do need some help. Maybe these experts can help me out. And it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I thought, I may as well just go for it.
My time in the Married at First Sight UK experiment was definitely an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
But I came out with the greatest gift, which was you.
We found love with each other. MAFS didn't give you a man, but it did give you me. So I think this is better.
I mean, they've done something right.
I think people would be surprised to know how long the dinner parties and commitment ceremonies are. Honestly, we will start getting ready at like 7 in the morning. You start filming, you're getting ready shots, then you have to film again when you're on the way to the dinner parties, and you go straight in. And that can be at like 12 o'clock.
Literally.
In the afternoon that you go into the mixer, you could be in there for like 2 or 3 hours. You have a break in between, and you actually have your dinner before the dinner parties. And the dinner's freezing cold at the actual dinner parties, aren't they?
The only one that was ever warm was the first dinner party that I ever had, which was the one with the massive kick-off with Ella and Nathaniel.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the only one. I was like, everybody started complaining about this dinner, and I was thinking, it's lush, cost of living crisis, I'm taking what I can get.
And then you go into the dinner party, and that can be like 5-6 hours. Sometimes you weren't getting out until like
and the
1 in the
breaks
morning.
in between as well, like the breaks in between the dinner party it can be a massive argument going on. It's like, right, cut, and you're like, hang on, I've still got Prosecco to finish, and I want to see how this argument's going to conclude because there's too much going on right now. I personally feel like the most challenging thing is things that happen off camera that you can't really explain on camera because there's so much that goes on. Obviously, we are not filmed 24 hours of a day, and then so much can go on in the apartment, so much can go on in a friendship, so much can go on the boys having a day out, the girls having a day out, and that can really affect the mood. But then trying to explain on camera as to why, when there's no scenario that people have seen, that was to me the most difficult thing.
Yeah, that was a pain in the arse. So in partner swap week, I was meant to be swapping with Arthur, and Jordan was meant to be swapping with Ella. Me and Arthur would have had an absolutely great time on partner swap. Arthur is hilarious. We got on so well. Arthur's fun.
By that time when he said at the commitment ceremony that
Tasha said, "Oh, I want 4 kids. Paul said, "I want 4 kids," and Arthur went, "That's 8 then." And we were like, "Okay, Arthur." Yeah, Arthur's just a laugh. He's the funniest guy. So I feel we would have had so much fun in partner swap. Jordan was meant to swap with Ella. They aren't the best of friends. I feel like they would have found some common ground with each other. I do think it would have been good for them to do that together. They could have learned a lot from each other, but again, it just wasn't the right time for us to be doing that.
I'm not shocked at which couples are still together and which couples have gone their separate ways. We did do a prediction sheet halfway through the experiment to predict who would be together and who wouldn't be together. I think the one that surprised me the most is probably
Ross
Peggy.
And Thomas. Well, Ross and Thomas for me, like I was rooting for them the whole way. They were my favourite couple. I thought they were so well matched, so I was like, they're gonna go the distance.
See, I put them down as just friends.
I am with you though on the Peggy and George. Like,
yeah.
I'm not 100% convinced on them.
I was shocked that they were still together just because of the differences, and obviously they have had issues outside the experiment as well, but I suppose that's what makes a good relationship, is getting through them.
I just don't get them, to be honest.
You said what you said.
Sorry, we've got the teacups.
The thing with the squatting video is, we hadn't seen this up until like last week, until George posted it on social media. Yeah. So obviously we had this like
this
porno basically in our heads that this was going to be some like horrific, like pornographic,
like cheeks full on spread. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was going to be
sinister basically, but it wasn't even that bad.
It's quite funny, but I get where she's coming from. Like if my man was doing that on the internet, I'd have to respectfully ask him to stop.
Yeah, like rein it in a little bit, but it's not to the point where if you're claiming that you like somebody that much,
you get over it. Just don't look at it, don't watch it. If he's enjoying himself, he can crack on. My relationship with Tasha now, you'll be very surprised to know that we get on. We are friends, I would say, not the best of friends, but we speak. She's probably the one person I've spoke to quite a lot since coming out of the experiment. She will message me, check up on me, see how I'm doing. Towards the end of the experiment as well, we did find some common ground with each other. George and I would go round to her and Paul's apartment. We'd sit and have drinks. It was a full 180, to be honest. Very strange, wasn't it?
No bad vibes, no more, honey.
Yeah, so I said, just take 5 minutes, get to know me, and you'll realise that I'm actually really chill. I think we just clashed, but yeah, we're fine now. Absolutely fine. I do not like Luke. I will never like Luke. I think that he's not a nice person. I have a lot of time for Jay. I think she deserves the absolute world. She's a sweetheart, and yeah, I think she's an amazing girl. But as for Luke, no.
Matt and I's relationship now is minimal, to say the least. The reunion was very, very difficult. I'd, after the experiment, gone home to some devastating news, basically. And when I do try and be my feelings, it was kind of, well, I've gone through a hard time too. And it was like, right, okay, one of the issues you told me is to be more open about how I was feeling and not be as guarded, and that's what I was trying to do. So the reunion, there was a lot of negativity around the way that we finished, but we ended things mutually, which is what I was so confused about. And then at the reunion, it was like, I'm gonna blame you for all of this. And I was like, whoa, we ended this mutually, like what? I was so confused. And obviously in that time as well, I was hurting from the news I had going on at home and trying to adapt back into normality. So I didn't speak to Matt up until our wedding day was airing. So we are on
and then obviously
civil terms.
Found out about him and Shona.
I found out about Shona and Matt. You rang me, and at that time I did have a message from Shona in my DMs, but I hadn't read it at that point, and you rang me and you're like, what the hell? Basically, Matt's just been on the phone.
Because Matt told Jordan.
And
obviously I was like, Jordan was like, don't say anything yet because Shona's going to message Adrienne. And I was like, I'm not keeping this information in. Like, Adrienne is my girl, my best friend. She needs to know.
You know, all the cast try and make out that everybody's there for each other. Not one person messaged me, and the one person that did message me, obviously you told me, but the only person that messaged me a couple of days after, believe it or not, was Portia, and said, you don't have to explain how you're feeling, but if you are feeling a certain way, then obviously you're entitled to feel however the hell you want to feel, basically. And I hope that they do make it work, but just keep my name out your mouth.
I just think it wasn't fair them coming back because they hadn't had the wedding, they hadn't had to go through the same that we had. I think they both deserved love. I think they both deserved a chance at getting to know each other and exploring their relationship, but they didn't have to do it coming back into the experiment. I just think that it was a bit of a mockery to the rest of us and to the process. But yeah, they were happy, and I do think at the time they were better suited to each other than the partners they were with initially.
There's lots of things that I could have and should have said at the reunion, but at that time I was not in the mental state to even do that. But you know, let bygones be bygones and all that, and just let it be.
I feel like I initially went into the reunion thinking this is going to be a breeze, I'm going to have a great time, going to be no drama, there's nothing going on, me and Jordan are in the best place ever, we're so happy. And then I get to the reunion and get hit in the face with all the drama that unfolded, and I was so shocked. I had no idea about any of this even happening, so to me, like, it was really tough, and yeah, it wasn't the experience I was hoping that it would have been coming back and seeing all of the cast. Like, the reunion for me was awful. I think Thomas comes across really different on screen. Now he does. On screen to what he is in person. In person he's so loud, outgoing, funny, a bit crazy. But on camera he wasn't, you don't see that side of him.
No. He would come out with things behind the scenes and you'd be like, does that just come out of your mouth?
Yeah,
because
like he kind of takes you by
you've
surprise.
been sat there for 9 hours and not said a word, and then now we're behind the scenes and you're saying all these things that are like funny.
Yeah.
Like,
he's really funny.
Yeah.
He's definitely someone that I was like, oh right, you have got a personality, like you are funny, like you're not just awkward. Yeah. And Roz as well, to be fair. I love Roz, I'm obsessed with her. She's like the funniest person in the world.
I'm still in contact with obviously you every day.
Yes.
Jordan as well. Like, I speak to Jordan a lot. I speak to George quite a lot. Peggy quite a lot.
I speak to Peggy.
Yeah. We met up with Nathaniel at the weekend.
Bianca, our queen, we love her.
Our kind queen.
Yes.
The people's princess.
The people's princess. We're obsessed with Bianca. I'm not in contact with Luke, obviously. I would. No, you couldn't pay me to talk to that man.
I'm not in contact with, obviously, Matt and Shauna. I mean, we speak now and then when the episodes are on, but apart from that, there's no need for us to be in contact.
We're such driven, motivated people, and I think we've been through so much in life that we want to get the most out of life that we can.
Yeah.
So we're always brainstorming what we want to do and coming up with ideas. I think we'd love to move to Manchester. I want to get out of Scotland, broaden my horizons, and
make you a northern bird.
I'll never lose my Scottish roots. No. Yeah, we definitely want to move to Manchester. That would be fun. We have spoke about coming out with a podcast, and obviously my initials E, Adrienne's an A, so we'd love to call it something like A&E, what's your emergency? And like it'd be like a little hotline, people can like call us up and we'll just discuss like girl dramas, boy dramas, all sorts.
Everything. Come to us and we will help.
And for me and Jordan, honestly, we're just going from strength to strength. We would love to move somewhere closer together as well. We want to go on holiday, we want to do some traveling. I'm just excited to see what the future holds for the both of us. Thank you for watching.
And here's to spilling the tea.